Africa has always been regarded as a continent where famine, undernourishment and starvation were the most pressing problems. However, new research indicates that as African populations become westernized and urbanized, the incidence of obesity has increased exponentially. Now, once undernourished populations are facing the challenge of dealing with obesity, not just in adults, but in children as well. Nestle brings you nutritional information to help you make tastier and healthier choices with your child's nutrition.
Nestle provides you with tastier and healthier everyday choices to enhance your quality of life. Nestle, good food, good life.
Recent studies showed that 20% of South African children are overweight and 5% of our children can be classified as obese. There are numerous reasons why childhood obesity is on the rise. Poor nutrition, a lack of physical activity, and our current economic climate all contribute to this growing problem.
To help us gain more insight into this growing pandemic, I have Dietitian Laura Berry and lawyer Liza Mills in studio today. Welcome, ladies, to Doctor's Orders.
Hello.
Thank you.
So, Liza,
Yes.
you are a lawyer.
Yes.
And you are an expert on childhood obesity. Could you perhaps explain that?
Well, yes, I'm doing some research at the moment on the regulation specifically of marketing of food to children.
Is that being regulated at the moment?
It is being regulated at the moment, but unfortunately not sufficiently.
Okay.
And that is what I'm trying to establish through my research. What are the best options available and how can we regulate this issue?
Yeah, the statistics of childhood obesity is very overwhelming. Can you give me some insight into that?
It is, Riaad. It's really quite frightening.
Yeah.
And the issue of childhood obesity really has become a major public health concern.
Yes.
The World Health Organization estimates that in children under 5 years of age, there is in the region of 42 million children living with obesity,
Wow.
being overweight or obese. And 35 million of these children are in fact in developing countries.
It's very interesting what you said in the intro. The statistics, you always remember, you know, the pictures that you saw of Africa with the starving children.
Yes.
The reality is that there are more children worldwide now dying of being overweight than children dying from being undernourished. Yes.
Whoa, that's very interesting. What are the consequences of obesity in children?
There are problems associated with the actual increase in fat mass. So children are more at risk of osteoarthritic conditions,
Yes.
they're more predisposed to fractures, as well as other sleep problems, and also the psychological and social issues that go along with it. And then together with that, you see the other side of it, where there are metabolic complications
Yes.
associated with obesity, like the diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and increase in blood pressure.
So a whole host of problems. Childhood obesity is a problem, but there are solutions and success stories. Let's have a look.
Anela was approximately 7 years old when she started developing a problem with her weight. A year and a half later, her mother, Jean Grimsley, noticed something was different and decided to seek medical help.
The first time I noticed, I had been working in Durban Monday to Friday and came back, and Anela was with Bob at the airport to pick me up. And when I came through from the airline, Anela was standing there with a big round face.
At that stage, I didn't really want to do anything because I started to see myself big, so I didn't know what to do. And I don't want to really talk about it.
Dr. David Siegel is a pediatric endocrinologist, and a large number of his patients are overweight children. His philosophy is to teach children the principles of a healthy and balanced lifestyle, including their diet.
It's about balancing the first law of thermodynamics, which means energy in has got to be matched by energy out. So it's about eliminating things that don't work for you and reinforcing the behaviors that do work for you. So that's about food choices, portion sizes, and on the whole, gradually increasing exercise to help with the weight maintenance.
While Dr. Siegel provided medical and nutritional help, Anela also worked with a biokineticist, Nadine Kirst, who made playtime a fun form of exercise.
You really have to look at it holistically, you know, it involves the parents, involves the kids, it involves, you know, your teachers where you do sport, people like buyers and personal trainers and that, you know, we all have to kind of get on the same boat and go from there. And also, I think most important is, what does the kid enjoy? And then get the parents involved. Let them race against the kids, run with them, play with them.
Because children's bodies are still developing, Anila's weight loss wasn't rushed, and it took 2 years before her family and the healthcare professionals saw results.
Yes, it's quite fun doing exercises and like on jungle gyms and like sliding on slides and climbing up things, so it's quite fun. I feel that I've got a lot of energy, that I can jump around and swing around and play with my friends all the time.
Besides the physical transformation, becoming healthier also brought about a positive change in Anila's personality and gave her more confidence.
So originally when I met Anila, she was this shy young girl. Confidence was there, but it could do better, and overweight and that. But she just has the sparkle in her eyes, and we just decided, we can do this. And her mom as well is wonderful, and she's almost like the driving force behind it. And from when I met her 2.5 years ago to now, she's really changed. She's become this young lady, and her posture is better, and just, grown as a person.
Childhood obesity is a sensitive issue for both parents and medical professionals. But if they work together, it can help prevent our next generation from struggling with lifestyle diseases.
Don't give up. It may take a long time to get your weight back to normal, but eventually everyone should be a normal weight, and it can be attained, but it's very much a group effort. It would be extremely difficult for a little child to do all of that on their own.
So solutions, let's talk solutions. Liza, what would you say the solutions are from a regulatory perspective?
Children are being bombarded with unfair messages and marketing that targets them in an unfair way.
Yes.
So if we can just regulate the way that these unhealthy foods are marketed to children, then we're already a step closer. And here I'm talking about things like adding toys into certain meals and
Can't
things.
you add like toys to a meal like this?
Well, you can.
Because that's what they want. They don't want the thing. I want the toy. You buy the meal and then you get the toy and the meal is there on the side.
150 in the series as well. You have to buy the whole. But Riaad, that's the interesting thing. That is what has happened in the States. They have introduced measures where you're not allowed to include that toy unless the meal meets certain requirements and certain healthy requirements. Something that's certainly not happened in South Africa yet, but hopefully we will get there.
And how do you prevent negative perceptions or feelings towards food?
The issue of obesity is a very sensitive subject in children, and for that reason, weight reduction and weight loss diets is not something that we advocate or recommend. We really are encouraging children to grow into their weight as opposed to specifically losing weight.
Yes.
And from that point of view, part of that really is educating children and families about how to manage treat foods and how to manage occasional foods and how they can be a part of a balanced diet rather than feeling that they need to be forbidden.
So in terms of lunch boxes and snacks, do you have any healthy tips?
First and foremost, it can be really helpful to just base your choices around simple foods.
Yeah.
Children, break time is very much about playtime, so children do not want to be fiddling with cutting and spreading and peeling. So make food ready to eat.
Yes.
So a good example of a snack for a young child or even an adolescent is basing it around some starchy foods along the lines of crackers or low GI bread, and together with that combining it with some cheese, low-fat cheese, and sticks of cucumber or carrots or some tomatoes.
Nuts. All simple foods,
absolutely.
But very, very nutritious. So ladies, any final tips?
Well, I think the important thing, Riaad, is to remember as well that food is there to be enjoyed, and we shouldn't make a big hoo-ha with children. I know it's very difficult, and as parents we always want to force children to eat, but junk food maybe, there's also a place for them, or sweets and treats, but they should really just be treats, rather the exception than the rule, and we should just have that equal balance, and that is the real solution here, that we have to educate parents, that we have to make it easy and accessible for parents to know what it is that they are putting into their children's mouths.
Absolutely, I agree with Liza, and looking at other countries like in the UK where they use the traffic light system, which looks at red and the amber amber and green color coding for particular nutrients, which allows you to compare products and make healthier choices and also monitor your intake as well.
Yeah, but South Africans don't respect traffic lights.
That's true.
All right, Liza, thanks so much for sharing your time here on Doctor's Orders. We'll be right back after the break.
Nestle. Good food, good life. Join Doctor's Orders and Nestle at the Healthier Choices for Life event on World Heart Day. With Riaad Moosa as your host, come take part in free heart health screenings including blood pressure and cholesterol. Get free health and dietary advice from Nestle's nutritional experts, do an exercise class with renowned fitness expert Liza Mills, and enjoy delicious food demonstrations. It's all happening at Zoo Lake on the 29th of September 2013 from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. And entry is free of charge. Start your journey towards good health and wellness.